Hi class, I'm going to be doing my video on how to train your dog and what you should try to do and what is most helpful. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right in. I love training my dog. I have a German Shepherd Boxer mix. His name is Roger. I've shown it in previous videos. He is a wonderful dog to train. He is so smart and he catches up on stuff quick. Excuse me. He is the first dog I've ever trained. I've only had 3 dogs throughout my whole life, and the first 2 I was too young to have trained. And by the time I got to the point where I wanted to train them, they were just kind of too old to do the stuff that I wanted to do. Not that you can't train an older dog, it just is more difficult, and depending on health and mobility issues can kind of limit what you can do with them. So the younger the dog, the better, but I'll get into that more later. While training Roger, I've learned it is best to start early, to take small steps, and to be patient. That is one of the biggest things, is to just be patient with them. So when I say start early, I mean as soon as you can. No, you can't start if you just get a newborn puppy. They don't even have their eyes open, barely walk. You don't start there. One of the part of the research I did stated that you should start anywhere from 7 to 8 weeks if you have them at that time. I was not lucky enough to have Roger when he was 7 to 8 weeks. I got him when he was about 6 to 10 months old, so I started then. As soon as I got him, within the week, he could sit, shake, lay down, and speak. I started as soon as possible. So, from there, I want to talk about how, like I said earlier, I had 2 dogs before Roger. Their names was Mindy and Charlie, and they were just, by the time I got old enough and was able to train a dog, they were just not at the right age. Mindy, she was my poodle, very smart. I did teach her some things over the year, like sit, lay down, and be pretty, but other than that, that's as extensive as her knowledge went. And I just started the video that I will be showing you all here in a little bit on how I trained Roger. And anyways, but Charlie, he could stand to get treats, but otherwise we got him. He was probably 3 years old, and we found him in the country, and he just was not, we did not work with him enough when he was younger he didn't know how to sit or anything like that. So, like I said, start young and start as early as you can with them. Roger, on the other hand, when I got him, he was smart. Of course, he's part German Shepherd. Most German Shepherds are known to be smart. That is just a smart breed of dog. And so it was really easy to work with him. He listens for the most part, very well. He is a little stubborn. He gets too excited, which you will see later on in the video that I have made for you. But otherwise, he is great to work with. The next thing is take small steps. What I mean by that is the first thing you don't want to teach a dog right away how to play dead if they don't even know how to lay down. These things work together. So, such as sit. When you start to teach your dog how to sit, especially a young dog, you want to reward them with every time they get a little bit closer. So what I mean by that, even if they don't sit for you immediately, when they start to bend those legs, reward them. Get a clicker. I have a clicker. I think it's upstairs, so I don't have it on me right now. But that clicker will let them know. Once you click that, give them a treat. They know that click means they're doing a good job. So get a clicker if you want. They're about $1, and keep treats on you. That is one of the number one things as a trainer, is keep treats on you. You do not always have to treat them after they have learned and know what they are doing, I hardly treat Roger. I make him do 5 or 6 things before I treat him, but it's easier to manipulate them into what you're wanting them to do if you have a treat. So, like I said, going back to the sit, reward them if their back legs bend a little bit, just a little bit. Reward them even before their butt hits the ground. They know that they're going in the right step. Then, after you've started rewarding them that way, reward them when they finally sit. And don't go backwards. Don't start rewarding them only if they bend their legs. You don't want to do that. You want to start from bending their legs to maybe tapping their butt on the ground to actually staying sit. And that's what you want them to learn. Then roll over. Of course, after sit, you want to teach them to lay down, because getting them to sit is just right there with laying down. Get them to lay down. And then you teach them how to roll over. For me, I had to teach Roger how to play dead first, which is where he just lays on his side. So then from there, I put my hand out, push him over, and he learns that he gets treated after he rolls over. With all of these, you want a word with it and you want a hand motion with it. So with Roger, it's sit, lay down, play dead, or bang, roll over, speak, which he's looking at me right now like, oh, do you have a treat so I can speak for you? Dance. He can jump off a wall, rebound off a wall, which I'll tell you how I did that in a minute, and leave it, which you put paws on, or treats on his paws, and then he leaves the treat and everything. So he knows quite a bit, and I'm sure there's a few I'm leaving out, but you want a word with it and a hand motion. And with Roger, I teach him how to do it with only the hand motion and with only the voice commands. Some are a little bit trickier than others. But after all that, after I've worked with him on those small things, I wanted to work his brain a little bit more. I wanted to work myself a little bit more, because the dog is only as smart as their trainer. Not saying I'm smart or anything, I just kind of know how to manipulate his movements in the way I want and the way he learns. So as far as him rebounding off a wall or jumping off a wall, what I mean is he'll stand here, jump on the wall, and jump off. So it's not like he's catching anything off the wall. He's just literally jumping up on the wall, jumping off. He can jump about 3 to 4 foot high onto the wall and jump off. But the way you want to start with that is you get a board. You say up. You teach them how to get on the board. And when they learn that when all 4 paws hit the board and you treat them, then they know all 4 paws have to hit that board. They get a treat. So then you push it up on the wall, just a little bit, just about that much. You hold it with your foot. Sorry, I'm getting this video ready to show you. Sadly, it's not him jumping off the wall, but anyways, but you push the board just a little bit on the wall, then they walk over it, get a treat. Push the board a little bit more. Now have them do that small incline multiple times. Then do it again. Have them jump over it again. Keep your knee up, because later that will come into the factor of them jumping. So push the wall up again, or push the board up again. They keep going, keep going. They say this takes about 3 to 4 weeks to get the board even inclined halfway. For Roger, it took him 2 days. That was with maybe 2 hours of training, and I could take the board away. He was finally jumping straight on the wall, straight off. I put my leg up, say wall, and he jumps right over. Hopefully I can get a video for that for y'all one day, but I don't have it today. But here is what I have so far of his training, and I have to say I woke him up for this. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning, so he was a little excited to get a treat. I hadn't been working with him. Dogs are easier to work with after you've tuckered them out, play with them for a little bit. But so he's a little hyper, so he didn't do everything I wanted him to do and exactly how he normally does it, but here's what I have for you all. Feet. Right paw. Good boy. Left paw. Good boy. Lay down. Come on. Sit. Lay down. All the way. Dead. That's as much as I got. After that, I tried to get him to roll over, but he had found the treat that he had dropped earlier, so that didn't work. But that's really, you just gotta take it in small steps, step by step. If they get one step, don't get the next. They kind of get the next, maybe. Don't just jump onto the next step. Get them to learn that. Get them solid on that step. Don't jump ahead of yourself. The third thing I have is be patient. Be very patient. Dogs don't understand us completely. You have to help them understand. And so, if they get it today, they might not get it tomorrow, especially if it's a new trick. Be patient. And you have to think on how to manipulate them in order to get what you want. For him to have gotten up on that board, I had to teach him, all four paws on this board. That's it. Well, you need to get them on the board first for them to even learn that. And so you walk them over to the board. You tell them to sit on the board. They get a treat. Say free. Move the treat this way. They walk off. They get treated. It's very tedious task. And like I said just a second ago, do not jump ahead of yourself. If they don't understand sit, don't go straight to lay down. If they don't understand lay down, don't go straight to roll over or play dead. They need to learn these in certain orders. It's easier that way. Dogs can learn that way, but it's easier to go in those small steps, and it goes faster for you, but you still have to be very patient. All in all, it creates a great bond between you two. They learn to listen to you. It's fun for them. It's entertaining for them. It's entertaining for you. Gets you active, gets them active. It creates a great bond for you and your little four-legged fur babies. It's a wonderful thing. I really suggest anyone with an animal. You can do this with cats. I've seen plenty of people do it with cats. I have not yet had a young enough cat to actually try to teach them that, but I've seen people do it. Do this with your animals. It's so much fun, and you cannot imagine the bond that you create between you two. And on top of it, if you can teach them all these fun tricks, you can teach them behavioral tricks. Don't beg, stay in the house when you open the door, don't jump, stuff like that. That stuff comes easier because they respect you. And so, please, if you have animals, do this. It's so much fun. So, thank you so much for listening to this informative speech, and I hope you all have a great night, and I'm ready to listen to your all's speeches and learn some stuff. Have a good one.